All right, so Jai, do you want
Yeah.
to just introduce yourself? Thanks again, mate, for doing this.
okay, yeah.
Just let everyone know where you're from, yeah.
I'm Jai. We're my company's called 38 Building Group, and we are on the peninsula. So anyone that's local, we're actually Mornington based, and we're just basically specialising in new custom architectural homes on the peninsula. So that's
Awesome.
our
Yeah.
market.
So we're going to cut to the chase here because obviously the purpose of the exercise with putting systems in place and following best practice is to make you more money, right? So when we started coaching so we were still working together.
Yeah.
And with that in mind, you've been making sure that you honour your duty of care to your clients by being financially sound.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
could you tell us what you've done from a financial perspective, like in terms of results?
Yeah, so just in the short time that we've been working together, which is less than a year, our revenue, I should talk about profits first because obviously we want to increase them and our margins. So our margins have more than doubled since then. We were probably one of those silly builders that was working on 10%. And we've well and truly more than doubled that now. And our revenue's gone up just over 3 times from that as well now. So we've scaled in a short period of time. We had, when looking at some of that information before, we had 0 guys on the books, and now we've got 4 guys on the books as well. So we've really scaled up, and now, and we've added some costs as well in our estimating. So we didn't allow for supervision or project management or anything like that. So now we are all those costs in supervision, project management. Our margins are up, everything's covered. Hayden's not here anymore, but I've done some work with him, and he actually helped me with analysing and working out those supervision costs and how much to allow for. So
It's like triple dipping because your revenue's gone up, margins have doubled, guys, doubled, that's 100% increase. And then you've included costings for supervision, which weren't there before. So that's all had a profound effect. Remember that story we were talking about yesterday where you came to me on a call and you were excited about this? This big project is just signed or about signed?
We're just starting it next month, so we're about to do some demo on it. But we did just start. Kurt had said to me, what projects you're estimating or whatever. Went through them all and got to this job. It was the biggest job that we'd ever looked at. It was 3 million, and he's what's your margins on it, what's your markup and stuff. I've got 10%, so I've got 300k, and I'm really excited. I got 300k on this job, Kurt. How cool is this going to be? He's like, run. You need to get out. Don't do that job. Get out of it. Like, you're going to go bust.
Should have seen his face.
I'm like, but what do you mean? I got 300 grand. This is going to be the best. Like, this is going to be the most I've ever made on a job. How cool is this going to be? So little did I know about the numbers back then that, look at how long the job's going to take and your supervision costs and all the things that are going to decrease that value. Overheads, we were going to go backwards. We were going to lose out on it. So like I said, we've ended up getting that job and we're just about to start it. That's our biggest ever job, so 3 million, and we've signed it on the highest margin on any job ever. And we've got all our supervision costs and everything built into it. So there's a huge turnaround, which is really cool. So our biggest job and most margins. So.
And kudos to you for making the change because the mindset is the toughest thing, right? Is shifting your mindset and then going up.
Mindset's definitely
You're shitting yourself.
big. Yeah, like you got to have confidence in yourself that you are a good quality builder and that you're providing a service that they should be paying for. You sort of devalue yourself by only putting that margin on it. You're just they're not going to see you as value when you're doing it that cheap. Pump yourself up, and that's what's going to help that mindset change to make sure you're charging the right amounts. And if they don't want to pay it, they're not the right client.
Shifting over to developments. So we were talking earlier today about, if you want to make a meaningful profit, even if you're anywhere near their 7-figure club, you want to start doing your own developments. How many of you guys do your own developments? Even if it's just a primary place of residence. So as you make more profit, you're going to be doing more of those. We had a development workshop in Sydney recently. By the way, guys, we've got one coming up in Melbourne on the 12th of December, a whole day just on developments. Tell us about what that did to your mindset, because that had a profound impact as well.
It did. It was huge. That was a really informative day. So, if you haven't done it, I definitely suggest coming to the one down here because it did. It had a huge mindset change. I guess that was almost a point in time where I sort of stopped thinking about where I hoped to be and started, seeing it as where I will be. I could see where we were going now, and that is that put some plans in place for some developments that from there basically come home and started making some big decisions. House is going on the market, we're going to sell that, and then we've got we've done some feasibility plans on another property that we're going to buy and build on that, and then turn that over. We already know where the property after that is that we're looking at, that we'll do again. And this is all principal place of residence stuff. So we're doing that in the meantime just to keep the development stuff going. But plans for the company once, we hit a point where we can start doing our own developments, that, we've already started doing feasibility plans on a few sites in Mornington that we would either vacant blocks or houses, and do some duplexes, do some townhouses and stuff like that. So we will, do our own developments personally first, and that'll sort of keep things going while the company, we're still in early stages and growing revenue and growing profit. But once those things start to come in, that's when we've got plans in place that year after next, we will look at doing one of these duplexes, and then from then on, that will just carry on. It'll be townhouse developments or multiple duplex developments, and just even custom specky homes that we can sell from there. So that development day was, hugely beneficial, not only just from the knowledge that you got as far as feasibility and getting the right people around you and talking to the right people, but the mindset. Literally came home to the wife, was like, guess what, we're going to sell. She wasn't happy about it, but when I told her, the benefits and the amount of money that we can make on the house that we're in, she was on board pretty quickly, which is cool.
I love it.
Yeah.
So it was like that, all that stuff was there in the background, but the workshop brought it to the forefront, and then you executed on it as well.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, it was just like I said, that mindset change of, we were always working towards something, but now it's kind of like, not if, but when, and knowing that working with Kurt and working with all these guys around us and building that we will get there, and we want to put these things in place. Yeah.
Awesome. Just for the benefit of some people that are still new to, say, business development and maybe getting some help to put systems in place, you threw yourself into the coaching program, and you got quite a lot put in place in a short period of time. It's still a long way to go. Like, you've got big aspirations.
Definitely.
But tell us a bit about that. What was the recipe?
Yeah, so we were probably slow, and this was half the reason we came to Kurt in the first place, is we were banging our head against the wall, and it wasn't going anywhere. It wasn't growing. It was barely even sustainable, So we came to Kurt, and he helped us with those directions and those systems. And so we were obviously quiet, and that allowed me to implement all of these systems, So I think we were already on board with Build Exact and stuff, but just started integrating a lot harder. But Don and Blake's team's been massive, so got them involved, our marketing team involved. So I started putting all these systems in place, which then that's what equaled, this revenue. Obviously working in the background, making sure our profits were right. So we worked really hard on that, but that increased our revenue, and that's what went through the roof. And I'm actually finding now that, if you do talk to Kurt, he'll tell you that, the progress isn't linear. You will plateau at times, and we're finding that in that we grew and grew and grew, and we sort of outgrew ourselves and didn't have all the systems or the people in place. And I ended up working back in the business rather than on the business, and plateau, and that's what happens. And so right now, we're now just pumped a heap more into our marketing and trying to fill our pipeline, and that's when I think we'll start to see it go up again. But yeah, putting those systems in place is what allowed me to, work on the business and then grow the business and scale the business,
But you did it intelligently and well by accessing the right people as well. So tell me a bit about Don and Blake, and the work you did with them.
Yeah, so they were probably one of the biggest, implementations that we did. Got them on board, and it's funny because I was talking with a group of friends the other day, and we were talking about, the structure in our company, and who we've got doing what. We got supervisors on site and blah blah blah, and me in the office. But one of the things I forgot to mention when I was talking to them was that, well, hang on a minute, I got a whole external team that does all of the bookkeeping now, and even the thought of having to do that right now, like, it scares me. There's no way in the world I would want to go back.
And it's getting done much better as well.
So much better. So actually getting them on board taught me a lot of things. So, Build Exact, for example, we'd be reconciling in there, but you wouldn't be thorough because you're doing it, you go, oh, I know what it is, don't worry about it. But these guys are thorough, and they taught me so much. And, we talked about having Build Exact in line with Xero, and they're the ones that are doing that. And now I can see all those numbers, and I've learned so much from them. But the time that it saves, even I was talking to these guys the other day, and I said, way back when I had someone say to me, who does your bookkeeping? I was like, I do it because it's not that much, it doesn't take me that long, pay some wages, whatever, it's not that much out of my day. So why would I get someone in? Why would I pay to do that? But, now you get someone in, you get them to do it, and guess what? I'm flat chat, you know? So you end up finding, or not finding, but when you're scaling, there's more to do. And having them in then allowed me to work on those items to keep scaling the business. But their team is brilliant. I literally spend, you know, when you talk about Dext and stuff like that, I did it. So Wednesday we do, you know, the Dext report comes through. I've even set Build Exact up now after learning their systems and the way it works. I've really set it up in a streamlined way with purchase orders and things like that. Wednesday, I probably had 25 invoices come in, and Nat sent it to me. I was in the office, I reckon 3 minutes, Nat, done. And next day she's got it all loaded up in the bank and we're paying off. So another good side of it is that, you know, you talked about, some guys asked some questions about receipts coming in and where does it get saved and all this sort of stuff. So invoices will come into our mailbox, and you know, I don't directly put them into the mailbox that goes to these guys. I see them first. I'm probably a control freak. I want to see it first. But I'm actually really complacent now where I'll look at it and that's it, just punch it across. I don't over-analyze it too much. I don't go back and compare it in Build Exact and purchase orders and things like that. I just punch it across straight to them because I know in a week or a few days' time, it will come back in Dext and there it is. And there's my time to allocate it and, you know, reconcile it or go over it and scrutinize it and check it against Build Exact and do all that. And I just literally put in purchase orders, cost codes, all that sort of stuff, and then it's finalized. And, you know, talking about Build Exact, those numbers have to be right for me. You know, when I get into the office each day, I'll load up my emails and I'll load up Build Exact. And I'll have like 3 or 4 tabs open, every single job in a separate tab open. So I'm looking at my actual costs all the time and scouring them to see where they're at and making sure everything's, you know, on point. So they've been huge and not only freed up my time, but just got way more accurate reporting now.
Headspace, liberating, right?
Yeah, 100%. It is liberating. Yeah, you can say it. It's exciting. It's cool. You know, you're even talking about some whip with Mick from Fordham, and another thing that, you know, Don and Blake's team do is the whip. So looking at those costs, and there's something that, you know, I didn't even understand in business or know how to analyze it, whereas now, yeah, we can forward think and see what's going on in the company from, you know, months out or right now, you know, and we just know exactly where we sit. And so I'm learning so much about the business that we know exactly where we are at that exact point in time all the time, which is cool. So big learning curve.
That's awesome, and the forecasting, that is you being more proactive because you can look ahead and you can eliminate inefficiencies before they're even born.
And just even that scaling, you know, we've talked about that I need to get someone else in the office. You know, I've been caught up working in the business lately, and that's because of this, you know, overflow of work now. So I need to find someone to fill that void. We do the numbers. We know where my gross profits are at, my overheads are at, and we can see exactly where our net profit is and how much, you know, we have left to play to employ someone to fill that role, and know that we're not going to go too top heavy when we do it, you know. So having those numbers there all the time and seeing them, it allows me to make the decisions to employ more people or just bring more things into the business.
Man, yeah, you get it, great.
Yeah.
You're learning, man.
It's cool.
Tell us about your marketing setup. You guys won an award recently as well, which it carries credibility.
It does, yeah, that was cool. So we just won Best Custom Home at the HIA Awards, 1 to 1.5, which was really cool. Thank you, yeah, that was exciting. So that was really cool. And we're building off the back of that, so really trying to publicise that a lot. We brought in a team called InSeek, Ash Edwards, who's been amazing. So marketing again, you know, I know nothing about marketing, never did, and probably still don't know much, but learning from these guys. But outsourcing, going out, getting them to do it. I'm lucky I have my wife. She comes in the office once a week, so she'll handle a little bit of admin and that marketing side of things. And the good thing is she's invested in the company, so she will be able to help with that stuff outside of that one day as well. But yeah, we've brought in a team now, and just realising that, again, going back to numbers, knowing, you know, what's your marketing budget for the year, how much can you spend on marketing, and having to spend. We didn't spend anything ever. First time I got to the Kurt, he's like, what are you spending? What's your marketing budget? What are you spending on marketing? What are you doing? What are your strategies? And I was like, I don't know, nothing. That's it. Doesn't it just come to me? Isn't that what happens? So yeah, huge mindset change in that marketing, getting the right people in to do the job. And just, yeah, that mindset change of, you know, marketing yourself as that quality builder, just backing yourself to be that, you know.
So Biz Video on the cards down the track as well.
Yeah, we've talked about it. I was just talking to Luke before, yeah, because I was trying to pin him down and have a chat. We've got obviously this cool project coming up, our biggest project. So that's needs its own marketing strategy, which we've been working on. You know, we need to capitalize on that, whether it's just locally in the local streets around that job, make sure everyone knows about it, or, you know, go broader. Those clients are from up here in the city, that's their holiday house. So that's where this is going to be an awesome build. We need to capitalize and do heaps of video content and stuff. So get them on board to produce that for us.
I love it.
Yeah.
No, brilliant, man. Talk us through your sales process, because you're following the 6-step sales process, charging for quotes, and then working with Hayden as well.
Yeah. So even that's a good one. That was probably, you know, before I came to Kurt, if we got a call, an inquiry for a job, I would probably roll my eyes. That would be the first thing I would do when the call comes through, because I'm like, another tire kicker. Who can be stuffed with this, you know? And now, like, you sort of invite that. So you go through this sales process and you're qualifying clients. And that's the biggest thing. So that's just done a full 180 of, you know, of mindset with inquiries, you know. And so we've had all different experiences now with, you know, our inquiries. We've had people that, you know, we've turned down. We've passed them on to some colleagues and stuff. We've had multiple that we've done that with. And that's been successful. They come back to us and they say, you know, how thankful they are and how great it's gone with those other builders. We've had ones that have just shut the door the second we've said, you know, we charge for quotes. Literally say it, never hear a word from them again, which is fine. So that's
Celebrate that.
100%, and we do, you know, because that was the problem. Once upon a time, I was following up with those clients and I was meeting their demands. I was following their narrative, and I was getting towed for 6 months and wasting time and so much time on it. Whereas now, we just, you know, it just cuts them off straight away. So they will disappear. We've had all sorts. We've had them, you know, everyone's paying. So we've had ones that have come through and they've been fine and turned into jobs. We've had ones that, when they sort of find out that you charge for quotes, don't hear from them, think that they're gone, they're a tire kicker, done full circle, realised with a bit of education, and mind you, we try to educate them. We give them some content, you know, that will help them understand what's involved in a quote. But they'll come right back around again and end up coming to us and wanting to pay. They will be like, yeah, cool, we actually, you know, we want to pay you to spend the time to do it properly, so that we know that it's accurate. And that's what's important. So it's that little bit of education, and by charging for quotes, not only does it educate and weed them out, but it just gives you that credibility too. They come back and go, this guy's, you know, he's real, he knows what he's doing, he wants to be paid for his time because he's good, you know.
I love it. Double-edged sword, educates, qualifies, builds
So
cred.
that sales process has been one of the biggest things too, just freeing up time and getting rid of those tire kickers, which was eating away at me. So now it's much better.
Shifting over to your team structure, because you've gone from doing one major job to 2 to now maybe 3.
Yep.
Tell us a bit about how that's changed and then your role within the business.
Yeah, so one of the biggest things that we just did is went basically headhunting for a supervisor for this new job coming up. We needed someone experienced that knew how to build a $3 million job. And we did that. We found him, and that's actually opened doors for us now to go and chase those $4-5 million jobs. We've got a guy that's capable of doing that. So, you know, that business, that growth, that development, and hiring to get the right guys around you has been important, because, like I said, it's opened doors. I'm now confident that we can go and, you know, estimate on those $4-5 million jobs, and we've got the right person in play to help with it. He's so experienced that, you know, I'm handing some of that project management role to him on this job. And we've already talked about that he will do 25%, and on the next one he will do 50%, and then he'll do more and more. So he's expensive, don't get me wrong, but you've got to pay for it, and it's going to, you've got to look at it that if he's going to do 25% of project management, that's 25% of project management fees that go against him and frees up my time, which is the most important thing. I actually will spend less time project managing that job than I did, you know, our $1.5 million jobs, and free me up to stay on the front end, doing marketing, doing inquiries, doing stuff like that, which is where I need to be. I need to be front end, and then that's where we want to, you know, we've talked about getting contracts administrator or a project manager in to help, you know, cater for the extra role, the extra projects.
I'm glad we're filming this because there's so much gold in what you're sharing. This is massive. But so you got your team in-house, then you've got your subby, your trade base.
Yeah.
And what about your team pre-construction? Like, have you focused on that, like architects that you work
Yeah,
with?
definitely. So we've been going around. We've got a few architects or draftees that we've worked with anyway, and you build relationships with them, which is really good. It's good just to go out to them again and show them what you're doing. And, once upon a time, you probably weren't that confident builder, whereas now you can sort of really show them that the path you're on and what you're doing, and they can have a lot more confidence in you. So we literally, and even, architects that we don't know, getting out to see them and having sit downs with them, so building that base around you to lean on and get that influx of work. I think they're really, really important.
Nurturing those relations, but qualifying them as well, because you want to
100%.
work with the best guys.
Yeah. And we've had some that they're looking for backhanded deals or anything like that along the way, and they're not really the ones. We just want to collaborate with people that want to produce, award-winning homes. Really.
Yeah, run. If anyone else would kick back, run.
It's
just going to destroy reputation.
We just want them to, want to use us because we're so professional, quality, and credible, and that they know their clients will be in really, really safe hands. That's the important thing.
Yeah. So we were talking yesterday about, and then just now before as well, like the networking aspect of these events. Like you love it.
Yeah.
And then you also went to like a breakfast networking meeting recently.
Yep.
With I think Beck Bishop here in Melbourne. Tell me a bit about that, and then the mindset associated with that, the scarcity versus the abundance.
I think so that development day was probably a big turning point in that as well. I was definitely a builder that probably some of you are. It's an old school mentality of play your cards close to your chest. I've worked on a lot of systems or processes, and you don't want to share them because I worked hard for them. But going to that development day and seeing so many like-minded people in a similar position with the same problems, bigger, smaller, and sharing, problems or even just some of those processes, those things that they're doing in their company is so it's priceless, So realizing now that you just got to band together, and your network is your net worth. It's really, really important, and that will help you grow more than anything, So we've got a builders group that we catch up with once a month here, which is also so cool. I was there Tuesday, I think, and we ended up, we've got phones out. I've got another sort of system that we use for some, quality assurance stuff, and everyone gets intrigued. We're all phones out, have a look, showing each other, sharing it around. What are you doing? Most of them are on Build Exact. What are you doing? How are you doing it? What works? Just sharing everything, and even these systems. And I said to the guys at the end of it, I was like, if you guys want these quality assurance checks, so there's like 700 checkpoints in it. Tell me, I'll email it to you. That's fine, And Beck's the same. I was looking for a colour consultant the other week, and she emailed me all these people and content and stuff like that. So that sort of sharing and help across is so much more beneficial now. So
it does no damage to your business, right?
Not
in
at
fact,
all,
it sort of helps. You feel good about yourself.
You feel good. So actually, another story is like 2 weeks ago, I had a mate call me up, and it wasn't long probably after the development day, and he's like, he knew that we were integrated in Build Exact and using it all, and he's like, oh, it's time, I've got to bite the bullet, I've got to do Build Exact, I just need something for the estimating and the scheduling and all that sort of stuff. So he called me, I was in the office, and I was like, yeah man, of course, come, I'm in the office, like if you're free today. He's like, I could be like 15 minutes. All right, sweet. So he comes in, I spend 2 hours with him. I show him everything in Build Exact. I've spent a lot of time setting up my templates in Build Exact, exactly how I want them, with rates, with everything. And I was like, man, why don't you sign up to Build Exact? I'll email it to you. Like, we can share templates. I was like, I'll just email it to you, man. Like, take it, run with it. It may not work exactly for him, but it's a hell of a starting
Great
base.
starting
and just
point,
that information, everyone needs that. And, at the development day, talking to some guys there that were turning over 10 million, seven-figure club guys, and they were just open book with me and sharing information and stuff like that.
It's amazing how successful people just want to share.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it's lonely up there. They want to pull more people up.
It seriously is like, that's probably the best way to describe it. It's lonely. If you're trying to play your cards close to your chest, you don't know what the other guy's doing. The thing is, like you've said a million times, everyone's got the same problems. Like, you just got to bounce off one another and find that good support. And you know what? There'll be someone out there that's been through it and they've got the solution to it. So, yeah, networking is massive now. I'm actually spending trying to spend a lot more time networking, whether it's these events or architects or builder friends or whatever.
Yeah. No, brilliant, man. Now, it's something interesting that came up, which is not uncommon. You mentioned to me that you sort of self-confessed workaholic.
Yeah.
And then like you put all these things in place, which have freed up time. And then you said to me the one day, you almost felt guilty not doing a 10 to 12 hour day.
Yeah. So that's a tough question. That's a huge mindset thing as well. So I was always doing 80-hour weeks or more. To even think of doing, I might do a 10-hour day, or if I did an 8-hour day, I would just feel guilty if I'm not working on the weekend or something like that.
People get that on holiday sometimes.
Yeah,
they feel guilty.
It would take me days to
beach.
wind down on a holiday because I'm too busy thinking about work and what I should be doing rather than being here. But again, that literally just comes down to that mindset change, realizing that if you get the right people around you, you can not only be more successful, make more money, but do less. And so realizing that your job now and your mindset needs to be on just developing and growing the business, and the rest of it will take care of itself, and you'll generate more time and more wealth.
I love it, man. One of the things you've done, which is brilliant, is you've unplugged from the media, all that negativity out there, and you've been listening, just consuming audiobooks, podcasts.
Yeah.
Give us two of your best book recommendations.
That's been big for mindset change too. Listen to the audiobooks and stuff. Just hearing them, and they're so motivating. I just finished 10X Mentor, Grant Cardone. I don't know if anyone's listened to him or read him. Really cool. Loved it. Probably my favorite.
Yeah. Is that where you got the quote? Your net worth is your net worth.
Yeah. He is amazing to listen. Just motivating, and he's a real estate mogul in America. So, when you talk about developments and when that's on the cards, he can just give so much insight to it. So that's just listening to them all the time is a huge mindset change. That's probably my favorite one. And even early days, the first thing I did was read Kurt's book too, which, it spoke to me because you read through his book and he'd be like, talking about tire kicker inquiries and all these things. And I'm like, that's me, I'm copping all this stuff. And he's giving the answers in the book. And I'm like, wow, this is cool. Here's the answers. This is, it's me down to a T, and I need to implement these things. And hell, I need to call this guy and I need to start working with him. So that's what happened. But, so I obviously recommend that. But
10X Mentor,
10X Mentor is massive. Yeah. And even Dan Sullivan. So listening to that now.
Who Not How?
Who Not How, yeah. That's I go to sleep hearing Kurt saying who not how. Who not how, who not how. I was doing the lawns outside. I'm like, who not how? Why am I doing this, It's realising now that that's almost just more anything you're doing at the time. I might be doing a little bit of admin in the office. And I'm like, man, what am I doing? Who not how? Who can do this, And that comes back to, Don and Blake's team, Who Not How, like get them doing it. Ash is doing our marketing from InSeek Identity, Who Not How. Man, I don't know anything that compared to these guys, and I certainly know nothing about marketing. So get the right people doing it. It's a no-brainer. Stop. Don't do it yourself, and invest the time and money in it. Yeah. So, Dan Sullivan, those books. I just don't even like listening to the radio or anything anymore. I just want to hear that stuff all the time.
What does the future hold for you guys? What's the end game?
Yeah. So. Obviously, I've sort of touched on that. We've got some good plans in place of principal place of residence and selling and becoming, financially free and, and time and having more time on our hands with family and things like that. So we've obviously got strict plans in place of, 3 years and 5 years and what sort of milestones we want to meet with revenue with the company and profits and then those developments. So, becoming mortgage free and finishing in our forever home. We've got an exact plan of 1, 2, 3 more houses. We're mortgage free in, hopefully a really, really nice home. And same with the business that, we will grow and the size of projects we're doing, the revenue we're doing, and then the development arm. Even talking with Fordham's, and I said to the guys today that they're another goal. Reach the revenue where we can, be in a category where we'll start using those guys and drawing on their experience and their knowledge and just developing that bigger wealth from them.
Mate, if no one believes a word you said, they can't deny your enthusiasm. He's pumped.
Did I talk too long?
Not at all, no. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Congrats on your success.
Thanks, man. Cheers.
Cheers. All right.